Have you ever wondered how cities would feel without parks? Just concrete, steel, and noise. Sounds like a dystopian movie, right? But there's a reason why cities around the world have fought to preserve and create green spaces. Parks haven't just made cities prettier, they've literally saved them. From boosting public health to giving us a much-needed breather from urban chaos, parks are some of the most vital lungs in any city. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of how parks helped save cities, with two prime examples: Central Park in New York and Copenhagen's green spaces. Get ready to find out how a few acres of green can transform an entire urban jungle. Let's start with one of the most famous parks in the world, Central Park in New York City. In the mid-19th century, New York was growing at an astonishing rate. As immigrants poured in and industry boomed, the city's landscape became increasingly crowded, dirty, and chaotic. In 1858, landscape architects Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux won a competition to design Central Park, a vast green space right in the middle of the metropolis. But Central Park wasn't just about aesthetics, it was a public health project. Central Park spans 843 acres, which is larger than some countries. Sorry, I mean Monaco. The park was designed to be the lungs of the city, offering fresh air and a place for New Yorkers to escape the suffocating urban environment. It provided a refuge where people could stroll, relax, and, most importantly, breathe. Remember, this was a time before air conditioning and modern public health standards. Olmsted and Vaux believed that access to nature would improve the well-being of city dwellers, and they were right. Research today shows that green spaces like Central Park reduce stress, improve mental health, and even lower the risk of cardiovascular disease. It's almost like a giant natural therapist in the middle of the city. And let's be real, without Central Park, where else would you jog, do yoga, or awkwardly picnic while dodging frisbees in New York? Over 42 million people visit Central Park each year, making it one of the most visited urban parks in the world. That's roughly the population of Poland, visiting one park. Now, let's head over to Copenhagen, Denmark, a city that's taken urban green spaces to a whole new level. Unlike New York, where Central Park was built to offset the problems of rapid industrialization, Copenhagen's parks were carefully woven into its urban planning from the beginning. In recent decades, Copenhagen has gained a reputation as one of the most livable cities in the world, and a big reason for that is the way they integrate green spaces into the fabric of the city. The city's planners weren't just thinking about aesthetics, they were planning for public health, community interaction, and sustainability. Over 60% of Copenhagen's residents live within 300 meters of a green space. This isn't just a coincidence, it's deliberate. One standout example is Superkillen Park, a park that's also a global art project, showcasing design elements from 60 different countries to reflect the city's diverse population. It's more than just a place to relax, it's a park that celebrates cultural diversity and fosters community bonding. But Copenhagen didn't stop at one park. The city has been systematically increasing its green spaces through initiatives like the Finger Plan, which ensures that urban development is always balanced with parks and green corridors. Copenhagen's planners understood something crucial. Green spaces aren't just a luxury, they're essential for a city's health and sustainability. Studies show that Copenhagen's focus on green spaces has led to higher life satisfaction, and residents rank their quality of life 13% higher compared to other European cities. That's the power of parks. And Copenhagen isn't just resting on its laurels. They're aiming to be the world's first carbon-neutral city by 2025, and green spaces are a big part of that goal. Parks help reduce the urban heat island effect, provide wildlife habitats, and even absorb carbon dioxide, making them crucial in the fight against climate change. Now, we can't talk about parks without discussing walkability. Parks often serve as the hub for walking paths, biking trails, and sustainable transportation routes. They give people a reason to walk instead of drive, and that's a big win for cities trying to reduce car dependency. In cities like London, for instance, green spaces like Hyde Park and Regent's Park serve as key components of the city's walkability plan. They make it easier, and more enjoyable, for people to choose walking or biking over driving, contributing to a more sustainable urban future. In cities with well-designed green spaces, residents are more likely to walk an extra 15 minutes a day, according to urban studies. Those extra steps might not seem like much, but over time, They contribute to lower obesity rates and improved cardiovascular health. When you look at the numbers, it's clear that parks aren't just a nice to have, they're a lifeline for cities. In 2020, a study found that access to parks and green spaces in the US increased life expectancy by an average of 2.5 years in urban areas. Parks can increase nearby property values by 20 to 30%, which means they're not only good for health but also for the economy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, park usage in many cities increased by up to 60%, showing just how critical these spaces are in times of crisis. From the creation of Central Park in New York to the forward-thinking green spaces of Copenhagen, parks have saved cities in more ways than one. They've improved our physical and mental health, enhanced social interaction, boosted the local economy, and even helped tackle climate change. The next time you take a stroll through a park, remember that you're not just enjoying a bit of nature. You're walking through one of the most important, life-saving features your city has to offer. So, whether you're in a bustling city like New York or a sustainable haven like Copenhagen, take a moment to appreciate the green spaces around you. Because parks aren't just nice, they're essential.